All right. I see everyone joining now. That's so interesting. We are 2 minutes away from um, starting, or maybe we just wait a little bit for more people. Uh, I see Akonle Sonny Mano, I see Bakare, I see Adedeji, I see Aderin. I'm sorry. I see Larry. Let me just go by the first names. I see Andrew. I see Israel. I see Okweyemi. I see Tiwalade. I see Adedoyin. I see Yusuf Ahmed. I see Oluwaseyi. I see Victor. If you're just joining, welcome, welcome, welcome. Brace up, brace up, brace up, brace up. Let me just say, I'll just keep reiterating it as people join that. Um, this is not a so serious atmosphere. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not as rigid as that. So we are here to interact, to talk, to do all of that. So actually, let's do a bit of that before we start the class. It's not your time, so and we still have a number of people to wait for. So let's just do a little bit of interaction. Let me just pick someone randomly. Tiwalade, how you still on the call? Uh, it's not he or she is not yet on the call. Oh, probably is on the call but is shy. Don't let it be because of shyness. I beg, I beg. All right. I see that Shokwe just joined, and Joshua just joined too. And I see Adenike just joined too. You're welcome. You're welcome. 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 Adenike Oluwaseun to just joined. Welcome. So let me choose another person since that person has decided to slide me. Andrew, hi, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Boss Seats.
All right, sir.
Yeah, that's nice. Who else is on the call that wants to say hi? Nobody. That's why we have to pick names because people will be forming for us here. But it will not work today. Everybody will try as much. I know a number of people will be around, but we would try as much as possible to communicate with as many people as we can, so that this can be interactive and so that we can be sure that we are you know passing knowledge. So it's 10 o'clock already, and we have about how many people on the call now? Should we have a target? We have 20 people on the call now, and 119 people registered. So let's just see when we have about okay, let's just see maybe in 5 minutes time or something, or maybe 2 minutes time. Depends on the number and the time to start. Or pending that, welcome. Um, okay, I see that all Olabode Israel to just join. Welcome. I see that Rachel just joined. Welcome. If you are hearing your name, you can just say thank you or something. Luadam Larit, we just joined. Welcome. Who else is there? Peter Joseph. Bukola. Welcome, welcome. We're glad to have you.
So hello everyone. Also, I'm live. Like I'm so happy to have everyone here, and the one that has been moderating and standing in gap at the moment is my personal G Ayomide. Yeah. So been a while we've been coming, and like he has like he has welcomed everyone, right? I'm also using this avenue just to welcome each and everyone. Thanks for registering and thanks for joining the call. And please discard the fact that we are trying to be formal here. We are not trying to make anything formal. We are just trying to make it fun as we can, and also trying to make it so simple so that you can understand what we were trying to, talk about. Because the truth is, we all are here to learn. Yes, I'm still learning, and while we learn together, we hope we do have awesome time while on this call together. So by 10:05, we get started. And we just have fun talking about design. Anyway, I think we're also excited to have these people join us on the call this morning.
Sure, sure thing. Let me just tell you guys. The person I want to take you, I'm not the one. This is the person. The person I just spoke, and he's been doing it for ages since the 19s. So yeah, he's one resourceful person with experience. That's a dangerous combination. So it's really really sound. And I think me too. I'm trying. I can design one or two things. I know I try. So yeah,
Is
yeah.
that
I'm a
is
design
that
test.
is that ability or humility? Which of the two? So yeah, it is
I don't like.
10:05
I don't like.
already. So I think we can get started, right, Ayo? Right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. And please, I hope you can see my screen. If you did not see my screen, please raise an alarm or just shout Mayday, Mayday, so that we can rise to your head. Hope you can see my screen, right? Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So like it's written here, we are glad to have you here. Just chill as we get started, right? And special thanks to Pledrio for giving us their platform to um, have fun together. So and we trust we have a good time out here. So Pledrio is just a platform like the likes of Google Meet and Zoom with more avenue for you to, to have your class, your virtual class, should in case you need them. We talk about that pretty much later. So AY, I think you may need to mute at the moment because there's some form of echo, if I'm right. Or is there somebody on the call
Okay.
that is not? So just keep me in track, maybe via WhatsApp, and should in case there's a need to talk. So basically, like we're saying, we will have fun together today while we just talk about graphic design. Because of the truth, over time, we have come to realize that graphic design is just one of the, shall I say, one of the few fields in tech that people look down on. That people continue design, flyer for me, and a lot of times you just tend to see folks that just know how to use CorelDRAW and they just come and just tell you that yes, I'm a designer. While we will not dispute that fact, we are just trying to see how we can orientate everyone on this call to come and see graphic design in a new light, and which will of course make you better while also helping you to design as it were better as you should. So we just be talking about graphic design. And the first slide just talks about what is graphic design. Yes, it's actually generic. And from our conversation over time, you will have noticed that we are just making this so natural, as it were, so simple, and while we just have fun and an exciting moment while on this call. So let's just start with that. What is graphic design? I'll have loved somebody on the call just to talk about that, about graphic design. I will love somebody to have just talked about. But let me just roll over to the next slide. And the first definition I just have here is from the American Institute of Graphic Arts. Yes, let's just first deal with the packaging before we start going into the nitty gritty of what we have for us this morning. Yeah, they define graphic designers, the art and practice of planning and projecting ideas and experiences with visual and textual content. So it's just an art and a practice of planning. You have this idea up there in your head and you need to represent it, because the truth is nobody can picture the idea in your head until they see it. And that's where the saying that goes by, seeing is believing. That's where it comes from. You cannot just tell me you have this idea upstairs if I cannot see what you're trying to say. It's either you try to use your hand to demonstrate it to me, or you just explain with your words, and so that I can get a glimpse of what you're trying to talk about. But for graphic designers, we are not just trying to talk about these ideas with your hands or trying to explain with our mouth. Instead, we allow our visual to do the talking, working with text, working with shapes, working with a lot of things that I'll be talking about while on this call. So let me just go to the second definition, which I appreciate a lot, like so cool for me. And the definition is graphic design is the creation of visual compositions to solve problems and communicate ideas through typography, imagery, color, and form. So one thing it's of note in this very definition, and that is we solve problems. One thing I told us before we get started was the fact that we need to reorientate our minds as regards what we know about design before and what it is in this current century. Because the truth is, there's no end to knowledge, there's no limit to knowledge. So we are just trying to explain what is currently going on in the world of graphic design, as it were. So design is all about solving a problem. And in that light, I would just like to explain to us that nobody's going to reach out to a graphic designer when they don't have a problem. Now imagine the reason why a pastor will reach out to a designer for an event for a program that is coming up or for a conference is because they are looking for how they can reach out to people to attend their event. And the reason why I did the design for Buzzit is to ensure that I reach out to people that are really interested in having these skills and trying to get across to them. So, hello, Ewa, is there anything? Or who is not muted or something? So, while we're talking about that, the reason why people need you as a designer is because they actually have a problem they want you to solve. So if there is no problem, then why are you designing? If there is one party going on in town and somebody reached out to you that, guy, I learned a designer, so can you help me with this? It's because the person actually have a problem of how to get guys that will attend their event. And that's why they are reaching out to you. So, and just to talk about a little about that, it's furthermore about that, is the signs we see on our major roads, a bend, like this is zebra crossing. Yes, they are all designs. And they are trying to solve a problem to reduce accidents or avoid some form of accident. Yeah, so that's just it basically about solving problems. So I'll just go with the definition again. It's the creation of visuals. We have talked about that in the former slide. To solve problems, communicate ideas to typography, that is just fonts, imagery, that's just your photos, colors, and forms, as it were. Yeah, so those are the two definitions we will talk about in course of these lessons. And should in case you have any comments, just feel free to drop them. Just feel free to drop them on the WhatsApp, on the very chat section. While AY can just reach out to me anytime as regards any messages in which anybody has dropped, because right now I cannot see our screen. Yeah, I can only see what I'm presenting to everyone. And please, for the sake of records, if you cannot see my screen, raise an alarm or just shout Mayday, 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 so that AY can rise to your rescue. So that being said, what else? We've talked about the definition. We have tried to see that graphic design is just about me solving a problem. It's just about me solving a problem, right? So let's just go further, right? So one thing we need to know is that God is a designer. And this is a famous quote by one of the bosses in which you have in the niche, though not in Nigeria, right? And his name is Chris Du. He's actually somebody in which you want to look forward to, like Wole Soyinka is to the literature niche. Then I can say that Chris Du is actually also like that in the graphic design space, right? And this is a quote in which he has on his cap, on his shirt, and all. So it's like God is a designer. Just look at the bird in which I have on this my slide, and also the butterfly, the mountain, and all. You actually notice a form of color balance. Like there is no, and I think the best form of you having a very great color palette is about you studying the creatures that God actually made. Because if you can just take your time, from this bed I can like pick three colors that can work perfectly. I can pick blue, I can pick green, I can pick yellow and red. And believe you me, if I use these colors in a design, there's no how it's going to work. Like it's going to work. Look at that butterfly. Just a black color, a yellow, and red. Like if I use these color combinations, it's going to work. So to start with is that God is a designer, right? God is a designer. And that will lead me to, okay, just let me talk about this. Also, look at yourself. You are handsome, right? You are beautiful. And should in case somebody has not told you that, let me be the first person to make that known to you. Like, you are very, very beautiful. For you even joining this call, you deserve some, what should I say? What did they deserve? Okay, so let me just go ahead. Then the next one says, we are all designers. I'm sorry for having that 99 designs there. It's a mistake. We are all designers. Regardless of what you do, regardless of how you do it, I'll prove it to you that you're a designer. Okay, let me delve into it. I think somebody on this call will be like, why do you have somebody selling pepper? Why do you have somebody selling tomato? Yeah. Do you notice that those tomatoes were designed like, look at the way it was placed, and I believe a lot of us will have gone to the market a couple of times. Yes, don't form tush. Nobody is in Lekki at the moment. And if you're in Lekki, yeah, please send some funds to guys because we actually need it. Everywhere is dry, like the sand of the deserts, or as I don't know. So we are all designers. And to start with is the market women. There's a way they arrange the pepper, the tomatoes in the market. The truth is, it's only our canvas that is actually different. As a designer, and when I talk about Canva, I mean, the sheet in which you're working on. Because for every software, there's always a new file, a new document. And all these new file, new document, they are big grammars. It's just like they gave you one white A4 paper. Like, oh yeah, draw on it. That's just what canvas actually mean. So the canvas for each and every one of us is just different. For the market women, it's just the plate in which it's just the plate that houses all these tomatoes and pepper. That is their canvas, and they utilize it well. Look at how they actually arrange the peppers and all. Can you imagine you getting to a market seller, one of the sellers in the market, and you just seeing all the tomatoes and pepper just module up in one particular container? You just feel like, I'm not just interested in buying this. Because one thing that this actually helps you with is the fact that it makes it easier for you to price. I don't want to shake the table of folks that can price a 15 naira pepper to 10 naira or 5 naira. I don't want to shake that table. It is what it is in Nigeria. So let me now go further as regards the fact that we are all designers. I believe virtually everyone at some point have gone to school or are presently schooling, and I believe there's a way we arrange our books. There's how you put that big dictionary as the first one, why you put maybe an handout on it, why you place some of your your notes on it before you now place your Bible. There's how you arrange things. And that's to tell us that we all are designers. Just name it. There's a way the pastor arranges our Bible. There's a way mathematicians, let me even go there. Yes, mathematicians, they say that they design their model, right? So they are talking about mathematics, and yet at some point you just hear them talk about design model. So is there anyone on the call that would just like to say, just give me an example of a designer? Who are you? And do you actually believe you are a designer? Yes, we have fashion designers actually. So please, this is an interactive session. Do I have anyone on the call? Just you can send a message or just chat us up and just give us. Don't make this class boring, please. We are begging. Can I see anyone talk here? Oh, I've been doing the talking. Okay, somebody raised up his hands. Oluwaseun Owoni. Sorry, don't let me get that wrong. So please, you can speak up if you're on this call. I can see you raising your hands. Oh, yeah. Nice to have you. So we all ears.
I didn't get the question. That was what I wanted to ask.
Okay, I was citing an example that we all are designers, right? And one of the examples I cited was the fact that a market woman is also a designer. The way she arranges her pepper, her tomatoes into some plates and all, that makes it easier for us just to ask about the prices and all. So I was just like, can you just cite an example of people that you know that are also designers? Because you are saying that you are all designers. Fashion designer, yes, they are designers.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay,
just
booksellers.
okay, booksellers. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Booksellers. Yeah, thank you so much. Ahmed is raising up his hands, right? Can we have you talk? And please, after you have finished talking, just help us mute your mic.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, nice having you, Ahmed.
My name is Abdul Ahmed.
Okay.
Actually, I'm a fashion designer.
Oh, nice to have you on the call. Good one.
So, I just want to ask, can I learn this full course here? Because I don't know anything about graphic design at all.
Don't worry.
Graphic design.
We've got you covered. Don't worry. Just follow us as we just take the step. Of course you will. You will.
All right.
Yeah. So can I have one more example before we go ahead? Victoria. Victoria, have something to say? Okay. Sir Israel Oloruntobi, do you have something to say? Please mute your mic, please. Mute your mic. Sir Israel, I think you have something to say.
Okay, I want to say that an example is a fashion designer.
Okay, a fashion designer. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, Ayo, do you have anything to say as regards that also before I just move ahead? Okay, should in case we don't have any other person talking, I guess I will just have to move straight up with my slide, right? I'm coming, please. So we've talked about the fact that we are all designers. Another thing to note is design is everything. Like I said, that at 9 design, it's what's an omission and all. So design is basically everything you see around. Your TVs, your chair, your table, everything was designed. And one of the things that will give you that sense of the fact that it was designed is look at this chair, for instance. It actually has 4 legs, and it was actually evenly distributed across board. You have 2 on the right, you have 2 on the left. It's not that you actually have 3 in the rear front where you just have 1 at the back. And should in case you even have those scenarios, there's how they are going to do it just to create a form of balance. So everything in life is just designed to the doors, to the toothpick, right? It's so funny that in Nigeria we still import that, right? Let me shake that table. Yeah, because one day we are sure that Nigeria will be great again, right? So if toothpick were designed, then just tell me, what don't we have designed? So basically everything is designed. And going straight, design houses power. Yeah, it houses power. So just use the comment section. Have anyone at any point heard of bank wars? So please, I need to see our comment. Have you heard of bank wars? Bank wars. Bank wars. Just type yes in the comment section. Yes, sir. Creative too, yeah. Okay. Any other person? Have you at some point heard of bank wars? I think at that point, was it not yet 2020, if I'm right? No, sir. Somebody said no, sir. Okay. Well, let me just go straight to it. Okay. You said?
Yeah, yeah, a lot of yeses. Yes, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. No.
Okay. So I'll just try to explain. I hope everybody can see my slide, right? So can you see this guy? Let me use my graphic tablet at this point so that we can just get a glimpse of what I'm trying to explain. Just give me some minutes. Please mute your mic if you're on this call. Mute your mic, please. So don't let me distract us because I'm trying to set up the pen and that may take a while. So in this very image that I'm trying to zoom, I believe you can see it better, right? Sorry, I'm coming. Okay. So this is actually Sterling Bank Post, and it was just a design, but it actually caused a lot of chaos on the internet to an extent that GT Bank had to go and report them to CBN just because it's a mere design, right? So let me just explain this design to us. The bank that uses color orange is widely known as GT Bank, right? But from this design, you can see that there's a guy in the prison. So it's as if GT Bank, they are trying to imprison their customers. So and also, Access Bank arrows actually shoot, to the right, talking about forward movement. But from this design, you can see it's shooting to the back. That means Access Bank is trying to make people go back and not trying to drive them forward. Anyway, in case you're on this call, I think some people actually need your attention on the WhatsApp group. They could not connect. I don't know why.
Okay.
So please let me attend to them so that we can have everyone on ground. And Ben, please, you can help me assist AY as it were, please. So you can see Access Bank, they actually uses blue color blue, and it was just as if they are trying to take people back. They are not hitting their target and all. So now look at, we all know the bank that actually uses Elephant. It's no other bank than First Bank, and you can see the highest thing that an Elephant can do is to just walk, and those walking itself, it's actually a slow march and all. And we also know the bank that uses these horse, which is Union Bank. And the best thing an horse can do is just to run on the land. But we know that Sterling Bank is like a moon, their logo is like a moon, and the content of this design says, in shooting for the moon, men become stars. So they are trying to hide themselves that they help you shoot for the moon so that you can become a star. And hereby throwing a jab on other banks. So I think virtually all the banks responded. And that's to tell you that design is way beyond you just designing on your laptops and all. It actually has power. Another example I would like to cite is, imagine somebody removing the design on a Fanta and placing it on the design, a Fanta bottle, right? And placing it on a sniper bottle. Just remove that. You just remove that design and just put it on the sniper bottle and just say that, wow, this is the latest Fanta bottle and all. And the person drinks it. You can see that the person is going to die, no doubt. And the reason why the person actually fell for that. You can't hear me? Is that true? Hello? Please, can somebody help me checkmate that? Can you hear me?
We can hear you, sir. Right on.
Yes, I can. We can hear you, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, we can hear you, sir.
Oh, God of heaven. That's nice. I love that energy. Awesome. So basically, please, should in case you are not hearing, just try and reconnect and just check your devices again. And by virtue of chance, we are going to upload this to YouTube, as a matter of fact, so that you can, in your leisure periods, you can just get back to these slides and just have some more time to understand what we're talking about here. So that's just it. A design can cause commotion. It can cause a whole lot of stuff. Like imagine somebody changing the signal, the sign of zebra crossing, and just say the minimum speed you can go here is just 80 kilometers per hour. And that time actually falls to the time whereby children are just leaving their schools. A lot of havoc will have been wreaked and all. So going forward, some people say that they cannot see my slide. Please, maybe you connect and just look for me and just try and connect. We are very sorry about that. So another one says that design evokes emotion. I believe virtually all the girls on this call will not like to receive a black rose from their boyfriend during a Valentine's Day. Else, you just be like, what kind of love is this? It's not the one of Romeo and Juliet. It's the one of, what's this one? Saru and who? Saru and who again? Who's on this call now? I need to see comment too. Saru and Arolake.
Saru and Arolake.
Okay. Should in case you don't understand what you are talking about, they have left you out near. You said? Okay. So let's just move. Let's just move. So basically, that's just how. What did I say? Then. Okay. So let's just delve forward. I think. Oh, Ayobami, I can hear you. And I think okay, let's just move ahead, please. Let's just move ahead. So this is basically everything about session 1, which is just about what graphic design is. And let me just say this, it's not on the slide. Design is far beyond the software. And that is why this design was even made for people that design with Canva. Yes, we actually meant that. And I think at some point while at work, I designed with PowerPoint. And it was a professional design, truth be told. And for real, PowerPoint has been designed to an extent whereby it can now remove backgrounds. So we have a lot of design softwares now. So don't just because you know how to use CorelDRAW, start calling yourself graphic designer. You are one of those people that are not making them see us as big guys. It's not developers alone that owns the tech space. Of course, we have a voice, and that is why we just need to make ourselves see these reasons why we deserve the hype, why we deserve the, everything. So let me just talk about the next slide that talks about how can we now become a good designer. That first session has gone, and after this where we just have a few things to tell us as regards the further training, because the truth is you cannot learn everything within an hour or thereabouts. Wow, you want to become a boss within an hour, I beg. But at least you have things that will be sufficient just to help you kickstart your career in a very good light without you trying to go through the route of folks like us that started from doing bad designs. Bad designs. So now doing something great and all. So the second session, I'll just be talking about en route bossing it, like the journey to you, doing good and professional designs and all. So lest I forget, the platform we are using is Pledre, and they actually give us, it's a platform that can make you have your meetings, having like 2,000 participants just at a go. And also for people having online courses, you can just maximize this platform just to host your courses, having your students, you can allow them pay, give them assessments, and a whole lot. You can just check them out after this very training session. So please, we celebrate them for giving us this platform for free and partnering with us to bring this to you. So let's just delve into this. Yeah. Anyway, I hope we are together, Sha. Yay. So okay, yeah, thank you. So you'll be coming up after this, right? And the first one here is knowing what a good design is like. So guys, if this is all you know in today's lecture, you are going to do great. You are going to do awesome designs. You are going to be professional. Because the truth is, we don't know what good design is. That's why we do a lot of bad designs. I don't want to call them bad designs. I just call them other designs, because the truth is, I don't just like to downgrade people and just put them off, because the truth, we all started this way. Nobody became a very badass designer while coming to heads. We all started this way. So if this is only the point that you are going to take home from this very class, like, I feel fulfilled and I feel satisfied. Like, for you to do a great design, the first thing the basic thing you need is to know what good design is. Let me just quote a bit of Bible here. It says, the labor of the fool weary them, because they don't know the path that leads to the city. So guys, if you don't know what good design is, how will you design it? You can't give what you don't have. So, and that's why we are putting up a training like this, just to make us know what good design is. Because the truth is, what you don't know it. And from this very slide, just pay attention. And if you can get this, I believe you are going to kickstart your journey in a very good light and all. And for real, this class is actually meant for product designers, brand designers. I will talk about all the careers in design, because it's not just graphic design. We have a whole lot of fields in graphic design and all. I can preach about graphic design for 4 hours, 5 hours, and still counting. It's something I love to do. Yeah. So we have good designs and we have others. I don't want to call them bad designs, but let's just say we have others. And you can see all these parts that I tried to put forward. I think I need this pen to work here. Like, I actually need it to work here. Sorry, please. I'm coming. Okay. So basically, I think I have my pen. Coming, please. Okay. So everybody actually start from this part. I'm coming. This see highlights. Please exercise some patience for me. It's not working. I'm coming, please. It's not working. Okay. I'm coming, please. Okay. So imagine everybody actually comes to this part. Hey, why I think this thing is not muted, right? Oh, okay. So we all come from this part a lot of times to do other designs. Let me just say bad designs. So that's why it's not going to be so cool for me now to start criticizing you for doing bad designs, because we don't know what good design is, and this is the best we can lay our hands on, and we do it for real. At some point, I was even like, let me even share my bad designs with you, what I started with, so that you will not feel so bad, and you actually know that it's all about growth and all. So we actually came from those points, and at some point in our career, we now saw the light, and we treaded to this very path. And some, up to now, they only know about this side of the design. They don't know what good design is. And for real, when you just talk to them, they just feel like, yes, I'm a graphic designer with their shoulder up. I think those are the people that they sound booger for. They just booger you up and down. But a lot of us actually came from these very endpoints and did bad designs. And after a while, we now know what good design is. And we now enter the guys that are now doing good designs. And only a few actually just started their career, doing good designs. Only a few. And I believe you have not started designing and you're on this call, you are very, very fortunate to actually start on the right track, because there is nothing so sweet as knowing what to do and how to do it before getting on it. I think I wrote a write-up last week or some weeks back about direction before speed and all, so that you can channel your energy in the right direction. So guys, don't feel bad if you are here. Don't feel bad if you are here. And if you are here, you still have a lot of things to gain. If you are here, don't feel bad. And if you are not yet anywhere, you're on the right track. So virtually every one of us, we are good to go, right? So let me just continue with my slide and all. So now, I'm coming. On the side of good designs, there are two basic types of design. Just let me put it in that category, because we actually have different fields and all. There is a side of minimalism and there is a side of maximalism. And what minimalism just talks about is simplicity. You can all see this design now. This design is just one white and just one color and everything, and we are all good. Everybody can see what I'm trying to do. And here, this is another good design also. This is from Redeem RCCG, right? You can see effects, shadows everywhere, everything is just popping and all. So both of them, they are all good design. They actually have their audience. They are trying to communicate. They are trying to solve a problem like we have discussed. So we actually have two basics. Let me just put it that way. We have the minimalism and we have the maximalism. Like everything is just shouting, popping, color, manipulation. And I think at some point I was saying that one of my work colleague was actually intimidating me because he belongs to this maximalism. Why I am proud to belong to this minimalism. Most of my designs are actually minimalistic in view, and which doesn't connote that they are so easy to come by. It only God knows how many minutes I spend on this design before bringing it up and all. So virtually everyone spends time before bringing out all this design. And don't get this twisted, we are still on Buzz It Radio 94.5 FM, and here talking to you is DJ Emmanuel trying to preach the gospel of design to you. So don't get it twisted. Still, what should I call it? I don't fuck up. What I will call him? Okay, let's just go. DJ don't be my thing. I don't sabi to design. It's just my calling. Let me stick with it.
DJ, you can add some soundtracks.
Oh, thank you for that. Nice having you, grandboss. Yeah. So knowing what a good design looks like, that's just it. Some belongs to this maximalism, while some belongs to this minimalism. I think somebody needs to mute and get some form of echo. Is it from my hand, please? Okay. So let's just move forward. Oh, I'm still hearing some form of echo, please. Come in. So please help us mute so that we can have a good time. But I think you can help us mute them, AY. Oh. I'm coming. Let me mute her. Okay. So, coming. And I hope somebody's not bored already, right? Please don't be bored. One of the things I hate to sound as is somebody is a boring person, because I always like it. I always like everywhere popping and all. Yes. So another thing that we need to note after knowing that we actually have like two various design contents. I'm coming. Let me get this right. Okay. Coming. Please excuse me for a moment. So I think I'm good now, right? Okay. So we have talked about minimalism, we have talked about maximalism and all. So another thing we just like to talk about is the conditions that need to be satisfied for us to even say that this design is actually good, it's actually dope, it's professional design and all. It's like we only have two conditions that need to be satisfied, and that's functionality and aesthetics. So believe you me, if after my 6 years, blah, 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 after my stories that I've used to bore you, I produce a design that doesn't function and it's not beautiful, because that's what aesthetics is all about, then you have the right to tell me that, sir, what do you do? You know work now. Alpha boss, how you do this thing? Because of the truth, your design needs to function, and when I mean functionality, it must actually solve a problem. Imagine the flyers I did now. Nobody actually showed up, nobody registered and all. That means the flyer did not work. But the fact that you are on this call actually tells me that, guy, you're a good designer. At least you read out. Yes, I never thought who be this David Doe, will be say everybody will just be rushing. 1 million people have registered and all. But right within my circle, okay. You said?
Sorry to cut you. You can't see your screen right.
You can see my screen right away. Wow. I'm coming.
Yeah.
Please, some seconds.
Please, if you're sorry, turn off your video, please. If you're so that we can avoid distractions. Please turn off your video.
So please help us turn off your video, please. We're begging. Help us turn off your video so that we can have a good time together. Hey, we have a lot of sound here. Help us turn on your video, please, so that we can have a good time. Thank you. So please, can you see my screen now?
Not yet.
I'm coming.
No,
Not yet, sir.
no, we can't see your screen.
I'm coming. So how about now? I think I'm live. Multidaria too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we can see.
Okay. Yeah. Great.
Yes, you are live.
Okay. Thank you. So I'm talking about functionality and aesthetics. And what functionality just talks about is the fact that it works. The fact that you did a design and people can easily read it, picture the whole, the reason why you actually have it in the first place.
Yes, you are live.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks so much. And what I would like to drive this point straight is that one of the scenario I would like to use in this very part is when you go through the streets of your town or your city, you will see some billboard that are just color white. The background is just color white. Please mute your mic. I can hear some form of noise. There are some designs, billboards that they just have white backgrounds and just text, pure text. And just like, this we just wasted money. How did they be wasting resources? No, they did not waste money. Why? In our current world, I think individuals have like 9 seconds to have a glimpse on what you have to offer. And after that 9 seconds have expired, they move on. So if within that 9 seconds, your design cannot catch their attention, then it did not work. And that's what functionality talks about. So the reason why you see billboards all around the street having white background and having bigger text is so that people can easily see them from afar. Imagine a car just speeding across. Nobody's going to wait for a whole day just to see the content you have on the billboard. And I want to shake a table here. Yes, I'm from CAC. A lot of times we tend to see some banners from CAC having a lot of pictures, a lot of content, everything just lumped up. And a lot of things are now pointing to attention. What should I read first? Which one should I go for? And all. But we are trying to change the whole story now because at some point you can see our designs in character. They are actually pretty awesome and all. So functionality is something that as a designer, you need to be able to fully understand and grasp it before you can do great designs. And don't just say that I want my design to be legible so that it can be easily seen. I will not make it beautiful. Like, no, it doesn't make sense. And also, you're not going to do a beautiful design that people cannot see, people cannot relate. Please help us mute your mic. Please help us mute our mic, please. Thank you. So, aesthetic-wise, it just talk about, if there's an English like that, sorry. So, it just talks about beauty. Nobody wants to do a design that is not fine now. How about? Let's just make the world a better place. Don't just give us like a typed document on Word and just say that I just want it to function. I don't care about beauty. We just have to blend these two together. These are the two ingredients. As Maggi and salt is to pepper soup, or to, I don't let me disgrace my ancestors on this call. As Maggi and salt is to egusi, yes, they use it in egusi. They don't use it for pounded yam and all. Yes, I know that. So are functionality and aesthetics a very good ingredient and a very focal point you need to consider while trying to design, right? So let me just go further. And I'll just be talking about the graphic design rules. Because of the truth, we actually have rules that should just guide us. They are meant to guide us. They are not just trying to say like, if you don't do this, you are not doing design. No, we actually don't have rules, but if you are just starting and if you have been doing some form of, designs in quotes before, this is how you can, make your part right and just make it very good. So the first one I will be talking about is balance. I believe you can all see my screen right. We all can see my screen right.
Sure, we can.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So imagine this first image, because I actually picked some designs from some big brands so that we can just learn from them and all. So balance is just like a seesaw. We all play seesaw there now. Like all these small things, Jangirofa, Ikomoto, there's going to be one guy here, there's going to be a small guy here. So when this one goes down, this one comes up. It's just like a seesaw. Just see it as a seesaw. So for you to have a balanced design, what is here must be here, and so that the line will be balanced. I mean, let me just draw this thing here. So you can see the image is actually here, and the texts are here. So it actually form a balance on both sides. So it's not like everything was actually centered around this side while there was nothing here. So in design, you must ensure that your designs are balanced, like so that people will not start looking for A, looking for Z across board and all. And let me just use this design wey we talk here. Design no too hard na you never follow person wey sabi road. You can see this one is actually in the middle. So it's actually like I have something like this and I just place the load at the middle here. So it's going to form a balance, right? Just use a seesaw approach to balance, to understand balance. So when you are trying to do your design, just ensure that it is balanced. Then another thing is like contrast. Contrast is just like you are making the most important part of the whole thing obvious. And what should we make obvious? The thing you need to make obvious is what seems catchy. What will catch my attention, that's what you should make obvious. Imagine me telling you design no too hard, wetin happen? Na you never follow person wey sabi road. Okay, what should I now do? If this has actually caught your attention, there's no how you take your time to look at the rest of the details. But now imagine me making this www.brand.ly so big and making this design no too. It doesn't make sense, like it doesn't work. Now look at this bus it also down here. It's actually bigger than the free virtual crash course on. So a lot of times, what you just need to do is just to measure the majors, make the most important element so big that it can catch the right attention. Because people don't have the whole day to spend on your design. If it doesn't attract them within the space of 9 seconds, they move on, they delete it. Because quite a lot of things are calling for attention these days. And that's why we need to get it right. So the next rule I'll be talking about is white space. Yes, I love white space a lot. Nobody wants to sleep in a room where they don't have a space, where they cannot breathe, where they don't have a room to play around. So imagine this design from boats. Like, look at this design from boats. It's a design now, like, you can see the white space all around, and with just a love template. You know, that love is their color, so you cannot expect them to use color red. It's not Valentine. That's the only scenario why you just expect them to use that love. That's the love they have to offer you. So, always ensure to have white space in your design. It's not good. And when I mean white space, it's not compulsory for the space to be color white. I just mean like free. Let there be some level of space between your design and the boundaries. Don't just choke everything up. I think what I do when we get started, I think we are going to go there when you are trying to take each and every of the softwares one by one for each and every one that is interested. The first thing you have to do is to draw a box at every edge, so that you can now use your ruler to know that this very part I must not be my design koja be. Yes, I'm sounding natural. This is not that tush class where you talk about further ado and all. We are trying to be natural. Our audience is Africa and all. So I can use Yoruba, I can. So don't expect me to speak one posh English. I know how to speak posh English. So don't let me try and do that packaging here. I'm just trying to be. So that's just white space. Just allow your design to breathe. Because some people, they just like, I must use this space finish. Have fun now, guys. Just allow it to breathe. So that's that on that. Let me go to the next one. The next one I'm talking about here is typography. And typography just have to talk about fonts. Don't get it twisted. It's font. It's typeface. We are still talking about font. Yes, some people, they say that there's a difference between typeface and font. But at least for this class, let's just assume that they are the same thing. We are just talking about the text. And one thing you need to note is that in a design, yes, we know that we are blessed with 1,000 fonts on your PC. Somebody needs to mute their mic, mute your mic, please. Help us. So, one thing with typography is you don't have to use like 5 typefaces in your design before you tell us that, yes, I'm a designer. Sometimes, for this designer, for this BuzzIt, who would have believed that I used only a font all throughout? I used a font. I did not use 2 fonts. I used a font. So technically, professionally, your font shouldn't be more than 2 or 3. Like professionally, when you're just getting started, you know, when you have mastered all these rules, you cannot break the rules. You can even use 7 if you just know how to use it properly. But when you are getting started, when you are trying to come from the other design to the real designers, please, somebody should mute. Please let me check out that person or Ben. Anybody, just help me check. Somebody is not muted. Please. So when I just go on with that, a font can do the magic. And you believe with me that this my design is fine now. This body design is fine. Like, yes, give me that. You can praise me, I will accept it. Just give me that accolade. And if you want to buy coffee for me, I will send my account number after this call so that I can just send the money right to the right account. Don't ask for AYS account though. Please ask for my own direct account in case you want to do that. So a font sometimes, a lot of times, can do the magic. You don't have to break the whole bank. You don't have to use 7 fonts. You don't have to use 8 fonts. You don't have, God. It's so funny that on my laptop I can boast of having like 4,000 fonts, but tentatively I think at the moment I just work around maybe 15 out of them for the project, which I never project I want to use. And that doesn't mean that when I want to do brand identity I will use the same font. No. But you don't just have to use all the old font just to make it known to us that you're a designer. Guy, please, just for the sake of our mental health, for the sake of we having to see properly. Okay, so by 11 we are thinking of just having a form of breaker, right?
Please, your mic is actually.
Okay. Okay, guys, please help us mute. Please help us so that we can help you. So that's just typography. Just get started with a font. You can see that boat that I showed you the other one. They only use the font also. So please, for the sake of everyone, so that I can see very well, don't just destroy us with like 7 fonts, 5 fonts, 3 fonts. I would just advise just work with like 1 or 2 fonts. And please note, not every font can complement each other. Yes, let me shake that table very well. Not every font can work. Not that I will just pick one, I will pick this one. It can't. Don't worry, we are still going to take that course on typography because there's a whole lot to learn. We have a lot of categories of fonts, and all these fonts, they actually have their feelings, they have emotions also. This font, I cannot use it for a tech industry. They'll be like, we are not here for this thing, but I can use it for someone that is selling perfume and all. So we don't actually have different categories, and they have psychology around them, around their usage and all. So going forward, I would like to talk about colors, because I think we just need to have a break, maybe around 11 before we just roll on. About colors, a lot of times people just use like 7 colors in a design. Just be like, God, what's happening? Our mental health is at risk. Our eyes cannot see. Another table I would like to shake is, there are some people that are using one WhatsApp, GBR, what do they call them? Their status, when you just see their status, there's a way that color hurts your eyes. Please, if you can bear me witness, just type in the comment section so that they can change today. They just use one red or one dark black and just be like, the WhatsApp people that did the right WhatsApp did not use these colors. So why are you trying to damage our eyes? So now there are ways we can use color. Okay, for this designer, is it not fine? And I can point to like maybe red, I can point like yellow, I can point like blue, I can point like black, I can point like green. And all of them, they still come to make sense. So if you are starting out, just advise maybe just work with 1 or 2 colors. Right? Just bring it down. Like, so when you now master it, you can now try to, okay, somebody have a question, right? Don't worry, we are going to come there. Please just allow me just finish this session and just pen down your questions on the chat box so that I can note them. So the colors, you don't just have to use like 3 colors, 4 colors, 5 colors. And the truth is, colors also have their psychology. There's no girl that will accept a black flower on a Valentine's Day. Possible. There's no how you are going to design for GT Bank and you are going to use color blue and red. Nah. There's no how you are going to design for UBA Bank and you are going to use color green. No. All these things, we are going to talk about colors extensively in the days to come. And that is why at some point we'll be introducing our YouTube channel to you. So please, the best you can do for us is to subscribe so that you will not miss out on any of all these details. We actually have a lot in stock for everyone. And I've been hearing comments over time that is this whole thing going to be free? That hope we are not going to introduce money at any point. You have my word, we are not introducing money. This is actually free. So let me now go to proximity. Another one I would like to talk about, because I need to just leave this scene by 11 while I just come to tell us some few things. So proximity is all about you having Same details. I'm coming. What's happening here? Please come in. I hope you can still see my slide, right? Can we still see my slide, please, guys?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So you can see that the venue is actually closer to the church address here, and not you having the church here, having the church at some point here, then having the text. You allow the items that connect together to be close to each other. I'm not having my 7 at this end and having my days countdown. So don't let me waste our time a lot there. So the last two stuffs I would like to talk about is alignment. We have like 3 alignments: left alignment, center alignment, right alignment. A lot of times the alignment that works most time is the left alignment, because a layman, actually by default, humans read from left to right and not from right to left, except you're Muslim or you're writing Arabic. So your audience actually matter when you're designing too. So I'm not saying that when you're designing for a Muslim community, when need be for you to do it from the right to left, you don't. No, it's not working because you designed for the audience. So you can see from the design, they actually made use of left alignment here, left alignment, and it actually worked pretty awesome. This is one of the sites I would recommend for everyone that wants to get started. At least you get to feed your eyes with the right designs, and this will actually help you know what good design is all about. So also, I would just like to talk about effects. Effects are not to make your design fine. Yes, Ayo, our moderator, actually did this sweet design. Don't mind him. He was trying to form Porsche before, but it's actually a senior designer. So he actually made this design, and the effect was using multiplication. We also know that multiplication is more than one a lot, and that's why it replicated here. So a lot of times, effects shouldn't be used for you just to beautify your design. Yes, I'm not talking to the maximalist here, I'm talking to the minimalist like I do. The only time you can use effects, I mean the likes of outline, shadows, what again, light and everything, is when you are trying to communicate a message. The reason why he used a lot of multiplications here is because he was trying to show that multiplication beyond that word, so that you can know that, wow, it's actually about multiplication. And the new year is trying to communicate that pow, pow, pow. I've forgotten the name, fireworks, right? Yes, I sabi books more. Yeah, so it's just trying to tell you that new year is actually here. And so effects should not just be used that I feel like I want it to make my design pop. Let's just get it, like, make it simpler and all. So let me allow AY to have the floor while we just continue our journey from root bossing it. We still have a pretty much slides, maybe some few slides to go. So AY, you have anything for us? So I just have a bit of break.
All right. Yeah, so I don't know what to do now. I don't know. Should we talk about FinTech at the end of the class or now? Or do the icebreaker now?
No, let's just talk about it now, maybe within some seconds, so that we can just move.
Okay.
Maybe the
All
next
right,
10 minutes or thereabouts, because my system also is already crying for help here.
All right then. So let me share my screen quickly. So is my screen on right now? Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
So let's talk quickly about ThinkTech. So obviously you know that ThinkTech. If you don't know by now, I'm telling you now, this design training is organized by ThinkTech. And so just really want to tell you what ThinkTech is about, so that you can anticipate a lot that is coming from us. It's just like Mr. Emmanuel has been saying since, this is not the end. This is literally the beginning of this training, literally the beginning, because we understand that we are teaching rules now, and you still have to learn how to use those rules in terms of using softwares. Like probably you want to start with Illustrator, with CorelDRAW, with Affinity Design, with Canva. Yeah, because we said earlier in the class, before the class, that you could design with phone. What matters is the mind of the designer, not the tool necessarily. In some cases, not all the cases, in some cases. So yeah, because these softwares have limitation. So beyond all of that, I want to quickly introduce ThinkTech to you. So who or what is fintech. So fintech has two major focus. I call it our dual focus. I call it a dual focus. One is to solve problems with technology, and the other is to equip others to be problem solvers. I don't want to bore you with all the details, but what we want to do basically first is to solve problems. That is basically what we want to do. We believe strongly that a lot of sectors in Nigeria or the world at large do not really have a lot of intervention when it comes to technology. For example, the construction industry, like we know that there are like investment software and all of that, but there are still some aspects of engineering that if technology was introduced to them, it will make it seamless. So people with instance of it, people with many other things, probably with agriculture, probably just any sector at all. We believe that we can introduce technology to anything to give you a faster and easier way of doing it. Do you understand me? There's always a faster and easier way. Faster and easier way. It's just that it's just like design, for example. There are some things that if you want to if you want to do publications, for example, if you're using Illustrator or you're using Photoshop, you're just going to waste a lot of time. But if you're using Adobe InDesign, you're going to do it faster. So we believe that there is a faster and simpler method, and that's what we're all about. For example, this is a business owner. All she's been doing is calling on her phone or responding to text and calls. How much is this bag? How much is this shoe? And some people will complain again. Yeah, they had price your post and all of that. So the problem is she's divided between all everything. She doesn't know what to be doing at the moment. But there's a solution, a functional website for sales conversion, just simple. So there's this functional website that can be like developed to promote good sales conversion and all of that. So that's a solution, and that seems like a very simple solution. That seems like a very, very simple solution, but guess what? Not everybody knows. And of course, it is like a bit expensive when you think about it, but this is just basically what it takes about. And how do we do this? Mobile app development, website development, software development, product innovation and design, and UI UX design. Of course, we cannot solve all problems in the world. Definitely not. We are not Jesus Christ. And yeah, this is the means that we're employing for now to.
Hey, what for?
I guess, okay.
Hello, I'm with you. So please, should in case you have questions, come in. Okay, let me just share my slide while we just continue from where we stopped. I have to go and turn on the gen, Nigeria, Nepal, and all. So, come in, trying to open my slide so that we can check where we are. Just a minute, please. Okay, I hope you can see my slide, right? Please, can you see my slide?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yes,
we
yes,
can
we
see
can see
it.
it.
Okay,
We can
okay.
see it.
So
I
um
think I'm back.
another thing I would
Sorry,
just like to, okay, AY Alpha, are you done?
sorry. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, okay,
Sorry. Quickly.
okay,
So
no
is my
problem.
screen still there?
No, I've changed mine though. I still presenting.
Yeah, I wasn't done.
Okay, okay, let me just bow out so I just complete this. Come on.
Uh,
So you can present, right? So that we can just move from there. Yeah.
yes. So I was saying that these are the current methods we're using. We're using mobile development, um, website development, software development, product innovation and design, and it's as wide as possible. UI UX design. Currently, we are working on an app, that helps readers and writers, and these are like some of the things we're doing. We believe that okay, sometimes now as a reader, you feel like well, I need a reminder to read. Oh, I'm too lazy. I think I'm too busy and stuff like that. But when you have an app like that, you can integrate the books you want to read in form of PDF to that app, and then there's a reminder per time, and like okay, you have to maybe you want to designate 30 minutes to read per day, so that timer is there and everything like that. So these and so many other things are things we're trying to develop in TikTok. And then the other part, equipping other problems. So we believe so much in giving back to the community. And what you're doing right now is an example of that: training, mentorship, internship, and stuff like that. For now, we are still dialing a lot down on internship because of size of organization. But in terms of training and mentorship, we are very big on that, and it's one of our foremost things. And the funniest part is that we're doing it either for free or at a very subsidized rate. And it's not just limited to graphics design, it's web design, it's software development, it's mobile app development, it's just as well as training, seminars, webinars, what have you. So if you haven't done that before, I think this is a good time to remind you to subscribe, follow our social media pages and all of that. Because after this training, there is still a whole lot more to be coming from us. Just like I said in the beginning, this is literally just the start. So our training started with do it. This one is boss it. I'm not like, oh yeah, so here's the next one. That the next one has to have it. So I don't know the next tag. So, but do it was the first design training we did. And I think we had also like 90 participants online and offline, and it was really great. We still have products. I'm a product of Do It, actually, in a way. I'm a product of Do It, although I had been in the business before then. But yeah, so we don't know the tag for the next one, but it's sure is going to make a lot of sense. And yeah, thank you. What else? I don't know.
Okay, I think you're done,
There's
right?
something
You are done, right?
yes, I'm done.
Okay, okay. Thank you
This
so
is the
much.
final part. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So that's it why please let me celebrate him. One of God's gift to me and to us at Think Tech. Benji also is on the call. He's our chief technological officer, just doing the low key from Cyprus as that low key guy, right? So let me just delve into this because people are already clamoring for the time we're going to finish, and we still have quite a number of things to cover. So I hope we can see my slide, right? Can you see my slide?
Yes.
Okay, so let me just. We've talked about graphic design rules, right? And we've talked about a whole lot of stuffs. So now, after you have known what good design is like, please mute your mic, please. After you have known what good design is like, the next thing is for you to steal like an artist. Because the truth is, there is no new thing under heaven again. I think it was Solomon that was saying that. And for real, there's no new design that somebody's going to do that's going to be wow out of the blues and all. Everything is just like I'm stealing from here, getting ideas from here, getting inspirations from here. That's what we do these days. So if you are now getting started, now that you have been able to identify what good designs are, how to know them, the next thing you need to do is get inspiration from all these designs. and all. And that's why I was like, don't plagiarize. Don't plagiarize. Like, don't just copy a design from start to finish. That one you are trying to plagiarize, and that is totally wrong. But instead, try to copy from various versions, more than one design, like 3 or 4 designs. There's going to be a session on how to steal like an artist, like a YouTube. So please, maybe towards the end, we just crave our indulgence just to subscribe to our page, because from there we can have turn on your notifications so that you can get notifications when we have new content from you across board. So please, you copy from multiple sources. When you know good designs, we are going to give you some links of people you can follow. And virtually all banks. I don't suggest you following Access Bank. Yes, I'm not so sure Access Bank design is like. But when you talk about Unity, essentially Sterling, GT banks, those banks actually have good designs and all, which you can just try to see what good design is like. Where did they place their text? Where did they place their images? How can I follow suit? So where can I get inspiration from? We've talked about, I think the very best collection of designs inspiration is in Behance, Pinterest, Dribbble, Freepik, and all. So have you. And also the social media. And please, mind what you see. Mind what you see. Not all designs you see on social media are very good. We have actually pointed how you can know a good design and how you can know a bad one. So your billboards, especially if you're in Lagos, at least I can vouch for a quite number of billboards that are very dope. But if you are still in some towns, some villages, I would not like to mention their names, so you don't come for my head after this call, be mindful of where you take your inspirations from. Because the gods will not forgive you if after this training you are still doing bad design. Because no, we are not going to forgive you. Okay, so moving forward, another thing I'd like to talk about after telling you to steal like an artist is to practice. Guys, please practice. Nobody becomes a boss overnight. Nobody becomes a boss after attending one seminar. I think somebody's not muted. Somebody's not muted. Please try to mute your mic, please, because we are recording this so that we can have it, and it's not going to be cool for us to have some background noise while trying to upload. So please practice. This cannot be overemphasized. I can even write it 1 million times, because this is what makes you become better. This is what makes you become good. And I remember at some point, I was trying to work on a devotional, maybe like 2 years ago. Please mute your mic, mute your mic, please, we are begging. So I think at some point I was trying to design a devotional, from January to December. And the first time I used 3 months to do it, using 2 screens to do it. The next time I did it, I think I used 2 weeks to fix it. Can you see what practice has actually made me with a PC? I wasn't even using 2 screens then. I used just 2 weeks, just from January to December. And the next time I'm trying to do it, I think this year, but it's just half of the year. I think I used maybe 3 days to fix it. So that's what practice makes you to do. Yes, software doesn't matter, but when you practice, you will now notice that some software actually pays you, because nobody cares about how long it takes you. What I care about is the outcome of your work. And one thing this is going to help you with, because by God's going to be talking about how to work smartly as a designer. A lot of software. Just dedicate your time to practice and know the software, and you'll be fine afterwards. So let me just leave that. One of the things that we don't like talking about, that virtually all designers hate, is opening up to constructive criticism. I remember while I was having an intern, I do say this story virtually every time I'm having a training to speak at, or just while trying to have my talk with just young designers and all. I remembered them giving me one task. Ford Canvas is a very, very big design agency, widely known in Nigeria and all. And I think they gave me a task 8 a.m. in the morning. And as a shy guy I am, I did not leave my seat. I did not even go to use myself. I just sat on that chair till around maybe 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. Could you believe that what I've been working for for the whole hours was turned down, like it did not work? How will you feel? Just be like, wow, this design is for me. So please brace up. If you're a designer and you want to be good, open up to constructive criticism. I'm not saying criticism that will downplay you, that will make you feel as if you are not creative, that it's not God that even made you, that will make you feel as if you don't even have brain or no. Just keep calm. Just open to constructive criticism, and that's what mentorship afford you, and that's what we're trying to do. So in as much that we have a WhatsApp group, we actually celebrate we actually respect everyone's privacy. We not just like to assume that everybody wants to be mentored. So should in case you want to be mentored, we actually have a way to do that, right? Should in case you signify, because this is actually the AP. This is what makes the men. This is what makes the men. There's no designer that will not go through this phase and that is still not going through this phase. If you feel as if you know it all, nobody can criticize or give you advice, then I'm sorry, you're in the wrong field. Maybe you just try some other field, but not the creative niche. Yes, and I mean content writing and all, because a lot of times your works will be turned down. So another thing I would just like to talk about is sketch. Sketch. And what I mean about sketch is like I would have loved to draw something like, right? When you look at a lot of my school books, a lot of my church books, at the back, you actually see a sketch, because you don't just jump on your software and start designing. You take your time to draw out how you want it to look like. You know where you want to put your text. Just, you don't have to make it like, you don't have to be an artist to sketch. You don't have to be an artist. Just note, this is where I want my text to be, this is where I want the image to be, this is where I want the no, that's just what sketch is. I would have loved to, delve more into this, but our time is actually fast spent. So another one I would like to talk about is learn, unlearn, and relearn. There's something common with designers. After a while, maybe you have used 1 year, 2 years in the niche, you just feel as if nobody can correct you. You just feel you have attained. Could you believe that after my six, I have 6 years experience, right? But if I tell you the numbers of things I've learned from a lot of people, I think that's one of my strengths, right? I learn, even if you started designing today, I will find a way to learn from you. Please mute your mic, please. Please, you're begging. Who is that, please? Please help us check that so that I can rush through this slide. So please, learn. I recently collected a certificate on product design, and it's not that I don't know how to design products. It's not that I've not started working on some products before, but just for the sake of record, and believe you me, I learned a lot of stuff. So when this training server actually popped up, I was expecting some intermediate designers and some senior designers also to attend, because learning is not, it's not, there's no limit to learning. So we learn every day. So there are a lot of things you need to unlearn. Like, I was at some point shaking a table that you don't just outline texts. You don't just give them a border, a text. You don't just use a lot of colors. And I don't blame quite a number of us, because that's what we grow into. That is our perspective of like, this is how graphic design is. But now that we now know, I believe we can do better. So you have to learn, you have to unlearn, and there are some things you have to learn again. Because the truth is, of all the elements, I think typography is something you master over time. Yes, we are going to teach you basic things you need to know, but over time, before you can know fonts that match with each other, it's all about you spending some couple of years just to work on it. So that's that on that. So other things I would like to talk about is, please, if you cannot read and you're on this call, please, design is not for you. I'm so sorry. Let me just be straight with you, because I remember I'm somebody that I don't like reading. But if you want to design and you want to make it big as a designer, you need to be sharp upstairs, because you need to tell a story as regards the design you are talking about. The reason why brands want you to design for them is because they want to make profits. And if you cannot help us make profits, why do we need to hire you? And one of the things that we help you, that will prepare you for this, is to have the right knowledge upstairs. And when I talk about books, it's not limited to design books alone. It's cut across all fields. And believe you me, designers are one of the few in the tech space that have wide knowledge, because they actually know a lot. When you are working on a Greek brand, you have to do some findings on agriculture. When you are working on finance, you have to. So we actually know quite a lot. So another thing is attend design seminars and workshops. Don't know because this one is free and you now see a paid workshop and you just said, and there's an avenue. Guy, pay. Yes, I've paid for quite a number of things. You can pay for classes, you can pay for mentorship, you can pay for everything. Don't just expect everything to come to you free. Yes, we are trying to do this free for you, because we actually know that quite a number of people don't have that much on them to afford all these things. And that's why we are trying to extend our hands to you, so that we can just help you from where you are to where you'll be. But note that when you get to a particular point, you will pay for some lessons, you will pay for some tutorials, to attend some seminars, because the truth is they help you become better and make you a better designer. So also watch YouTube videos. You cannot read, you cannot watch YouTube videos. Sorry, design is not for you. But I'm trying to admonish you, if somebody that doesn't like reading like me could get to this point and also reading, watching these things, you can believe you me. All you just have to do is you need an accountability partner, and we're trying to work on something as regards that. Hopefully, you get that to you very soon. Also, stick with the rules. Yes, in design, a lot of times you will hear there are no rules in design, there's no this and that. But sir, you're just starting. Just stick with the rules. When you have mastered it, then you can now start breaking it. After this class, I expect someone just to go online, just read about the rules. Go online. There are a lot of videos on YouTube. But one thing with YouTube is that you may not have all these lectures listed for you accordingly. I remember when I was trying to learn in design, I have to learn A from one person, B from another person, C from another person, D from another person. So you actually have us just to bridge that gap. Because if you are going to be taking you through Illustrator, we actually teach you everything you need to know, even if you're a CorelDRAW user, that will make your work process so sweet and easy to come by with when you are trying to use all the software. I'm going to be treating InDesign, Motion, that's After Effects, as God. Just pray for us and give us the support you can. And one of the few support you can just give is by ensuring that you just subscribe to our page. It's just ThinkTech Nigeria. It doesn't cost you much. And you can also help us preach the gospel onto others just to subscribe. This is for senior designers, because from time to time we'll be reaching out to the big guys that seems to be some of our friends that can come over and talk to us on how to get our journey started, because a lot of time it's not about knowing what to do. It's about also having the right circle and knowing how to reach out also when you have equipped yourself with the right skills and all. And for this, it's not going to make sense for us to have like 20 subscribers. I'm now trying to reach out to the likes of Blessing Aben that have a lot of influence to come on board. But these people, they are actually people we can walk up to, people we can actually talk to. But we now having a community that is much gives us that leverage to actually get them over so easy. So please, we are begging, you can just help us subscribe, preach the gospel to others also, should in case you want to grow, so that we can grow together. Because obviously we are growing as it is. So careers in design, how many minutes do I have left? 6 minutes to go. Let me just see if I can just wrap this up. So careers in design, we are all designers. If you are product designer, if you are brand designer, publication, we are all designers. We are all graphic designers. Yes, I said so. You can tag me on Twitter. I said so. Yes, they should come for me. All those product designers seems as if they are the boss. No, we are all designers, graphic designers. So we actually have quite a number of feats in graphic design, and I'll just try to explain them now. The first is product design, and simply put, we are trying to make everything so simple. Forget all these about product designers, UI, UX. It's just like your phone, what you can see, the interfaces on them, the screen on each of the apps you have, the website you visit, the good ones, yes, and the bad ones, self. So those interfaces are what we design, are what they design. That's what they call product designers. They are digital product designers. That's what product design is all about. Brand designs, these are logo designers. But we don't just do logo, we actually do brand identity, like their visual. Because the thing is, people actually relate well with the logo of a brand rather than our name is so. So it's just like the face of the brand. That's just what brand design is all about. And believe you me, there are brands, there are agencies in Nigeria that charges 25 million just for brand identity. There are agencies that charge 50 million. And when we now go off the shore of Nigeria, I think there's a logo. I think that's the most expensive logo, if I'm right. Maybe 100,000 USD or 100 million USD. I've forgotten that price. Accenture, you can check it out. I think that's the most expensive logo in the world as we speak. So publication, that just talks about the likes of magazine, all these books that we just have all around. That's just publication. So motion design is like you are giving life to a still design, just making it move. And I think at some point you'll have gone to banks, and at some point you'll be seeing some text rolling over that had been disrupted. At some point I felt maybe I should do a motion for this class, but we actually have a lot. Because for real, we actually thought this class would be for a 5 men, or maybe just for a lesser people, but it has turned out to be what it is. So that's that. Motion design is just about you animating still image, giving them life to speak for themselves, and people not having to. So another one is 3D modeling. Is like you are designing, but you want to make it as real as possible, giving it height, depth, giving it width, so that people can easily relate that. And the truth is, a lot of the phone advertisement that you see, it's not like it's the phone. I think Samsung was actually doing some form of stuff without their slide, their open and close. and they are bouncing Apple up and down. Don't think that it's their phone that they are now trying to use. They are trying to do those things with. It is actually modeling. So they actually model the phone on the PC, and they can even dismantle it, do anything they want. And I'm not trying to say that they don't do real life stuff with those things, but I'm just trying to make you see that there is something called 3D modeling that makes it looks real. So another part is illustration. Yeah, it's actually illustration. I think my brother is actually doing so well in that field. He's intimidating me. I have my part, but I've been using my part for publication all this while. But I know he's going to come and teach me one day. So illustration is just about using, vectors, trying to just cartoonize people and all, trying to just represent with, some form of icons and all. Then also we now have the graphic design that people now relate so well with, and these are the people that just deals with communication, that comes, and all they do is flyers. They just do your, not, I don't want to call it petty jobs, because they actually do great works, because a lot of times it takes to churn out flyers, sometimes only God knows. So the last one I'll be talking about, there are a lot of fields, but for this part, the last time I'm talking about is type design. It's like your font. There are some folks that what they just do is that they just design typefaces. And we have quite a number of them. And I think at some point, maybe 2020, I did my first font, and ever since then I never considered it, maybe because I did not see anybody that would pay me the amount that will make me continue and do some more stuff as regards that. So please, if you're on this call and you can afford, let's say maybe 200k for a font, I don't mind trying to do it for you. I don't mind doing it for you professionally. So please reach out. So thanks, God bless. And I think this is the last slide, right? This last slide, I'll just rush through it. So graphic design resources, we have images, vectors, fonts, color palettes, icons, mockups. So these are the basics of virtually all the design you get to see around. They have images, some are vectors. Of course, you have fonts, unless you're just trying to create an art that doesn't have fonts and all. Then also you have color palettes. And what your color palette is just about is color that matches each other. Then also you have icons, you have mockups. So a lot of times it's not that for every design you have to go and snap a picture before you can do a design. It's not that you have to cook your own vectors or icons before you can use them. It's not that you have to design your own fonts before you can use them. It's not that you have to do your own color palette and mockups. Mockups is just like trying to make a product like 3D like we are talking about, but this one is not like a photo related ish. So while like that, I'm sorry for rushing, it's because of time. I value everyone's time here. So for the images, I'll share this slide with us. Don't worry. We have the likes of Unsplash, Pexels, FreePic, all those ones. They offer you free plan. But if you have money on this call, you have $10 Peking, Dangote, which one? Tony Limelu, and my own child also, because myself I go blow. Yeah, write it down. You can just use Shutterstock or Shutterstock. That one is paid. If you don't have your money, don't go there. Just leave it. Then for those paid, of course, we get what is better than what you have on the free, because you cannot just have everything free in this life. So vectors, for your vectors files, and when I mean vectors, I just mean editable files. We cannot treat everything, but each and every of these things will be taking our time to talk about them one after the other, so that we can explain, delve into each, and deal with them appropriately by bringing in a resource person, because I will not be the only one. I'm also learning on this platform. We try to bring in resource persons. I also will be leading. My junior brother also will be taking some particular aspects, and trust me, you have fun. And we are not trying to make it that big and ambiguous as it were. So vectors, you can just use FreePic, Shutterstock, Adobe Stock. Like I said, they are paid. So if you don't have your money, don't go there. So for the fonts, yes, you can just try dafonts.com. You can try dafontfree.io. You can try fontHub.pro. You can try www.freepic.com and all. So please, we may need to create a form at the moment just to get people's response, feedback on today's course. If we created that fun atmosphere as it were, if we actually break it down simple, and should in case they have questions, so please, we may just need to create a Google form so that we can just send the link immediately after this class for people just to fill and give us their feedback. What can we do to make it better? How can we serve you better? And should in case you want to reach us, give us work, no problem. Our ends are widely open. Yeah. So we have for color palette. You don't have to stress yourself for knowing which font, which color actually match each other, because ladies are even trying in that aspect, because they know the one that is color red, they know the one that is onion brown, they know the one that is rusty green. Oh, sorry, they know the one that is swampy brown. They can just give you that color. But guys, let us gather here. Don't let us stress ourselves with those things. These are fun. These are sites whereby you can go to. They just give you the color palette and you just look for which one works for you. And like I said, at some point we'll be talking about colors alone. Like, don't worry, we have fun together. So far you're available, be sure that we also be available. So the last one I'll be talking about, I think this is just the last page, just about icons. Just about icons. And what icon is all about is talking about some of the representation we want to use. Like if we just want to represent burger with just lines and not using the actual image, that's just what icons are. So it's like you are trying to bring it to using lines, just using lines and maybe some form of curve just to depict the real image and all. So you can just visit the nounproject.com, you can visit Flaticom, Vetsy. So we quite have a whole lot of things to talk about. So I've used 3 minutes out of your time. So that's just it from my hand here at the moment. And I would have loved us just to get started with Figma today, but no problem. Pretty soon we'll be uploading a tutorial on Canva, a tutorial on Figma, a tutorial on Illustrator, and should in case you have requests for people that want Corridor, but I think Corridor is already fading out bit by bit, so may not want to go there, but should in case we have people that want us to do a tutorial on that, we don't mind. And subsequently we'll be diving into motion design, just how you can get started with After Effects, how you can get started with InDesign for your publication works and all. So basically that's it from my hand. Thank you for coming once again. Do we have anybody with any question? Yeah, I will send the slide actually. So let me just check my screen now, the chat box. Do you have anybody with any question? How many colors is advisable to use for design? You can get started with 2 or 1. So while you just keep it simple while you're starting. That's just what I would advise. Just keep it simple while you're just getting started. So please, should in case you have questions, send them in. And yes, thank you for attending this session. We so much appreciate you and we don't take this for granted, guys. And I hope we met your need. Yeah, I can see quite a number of people here. Thank you for coming, and we trust you actually gained something, right? So please, questions, do you have questions? If you want to say it, you can unmute. If you want to type it, you can put it in the chat box and all. And don't forget, please, we send a mail for you just to give us your feedback as regards to this class, so that it's going to help us better in our delivery as regards the upcoming classes, as it were. And trust us, it's still free, as it's still going to be free as it should be. So any question? So I should assume we understand everything we've talked about in today's session, right? Questions. So in case there is no question, right? So I believe it's a good time to say thank you, and do have a blessed day ahead. While you please help us subscribe to our channel on YouTube, Think Tech Nigeria, and also while you also try to watch out for our next video, and as we'll see how we all can become better. Yeah, thank you. We actually have a response from someone. Yeah, we are so happy for having you to Alade. Thank you. So thank you, everyone. So do have a great time. Bye.